Sorry, guys, still rushing around trying to get ready. Just give me another minute or two, and we'll get started with the live show. But as you guys come in, make sure you answer the poll that's in the chat. Make sure that you're subscribed because there's over 60. I think last time I checked, it was 63% of the people that watch my videos not subscribed to my channel yet. So make sure you just double check and make sure you're subscribed because I still am producing quite a bit of content. But I'll be right back, guys. Give me 1 second. $619. Why you gotta say that for? You know the bots are coming. They're always coming, man. Watch here. Here, I'll trigger them. I'll trigger them. I've been playing the stock market today. Been doing all right. But that's usually how I start my day. And I'm just getting ready to have an apple, a coffee, and a muffin. Breakfast of champions. I know I'm a little bit late. How we doing today, though, guys? You know, I'm kind of going with yesterday's theme. Yeah, I have a couple topics to talk about today, but what I mean by it is that if you see me distracted, it's because I'm still watching stocks. But hold on a second here. Let me make sure we're all good. We got 8 people in here. Let's share background audio. What kind of music do we want in the back today? So if you're just joining us, I'm going to be talking about Netflix today. I'm going to be talking about Xbox and PlayStation today. And I think there's one other thing I was going to talk about too. So I'll check it out in a minute, but make sure that you are following the channel. Leave me a comment. Let me know what's on your mind today and what you're drinking. What's in your cup right now? Do you have something that you're staying hydrated with? I just have a coffee right now. I'm trying to get that momentum building. The last week, it's been a little bit difficult to get that motivation going. There was a little bit of cloudiness in regards to my focus, but it seems to all be aligning now. So it looks good. Looks good. Give me a moment while I still water's great. I love water. Preppy thinks I'm a little bit bougie when it comes to water because I do enjoy filtered waters and, you know, reverse osmosis and like treated waters and all that kind of stuff. But I know for myself, for instance, if I get a coffee, I can tell a huge difference if the place I'm getting a coffee from has a water filtration system. And if they do, I can generally get by with using less sugar. Alkaline water is fire. All right. All right, let me just get my articles up because I am rushing around today a bit. So before we get started, just want to make sure I've been getting a lot of comments on my videos lately about how do I find this or where do I find that or can you help me with this? And most of the time, the answer is in the description of every single one of my videos. Like if you need support with something, it's so difficult to answer support related questions through a YouTube comment. It's very difficult. So join the support groups. You'll save yourself so much headache. There's over 2,000 people in the Telegram support group. You can see that it's scrolling down below right here. Join the Telegram support group. It's free. Got over 2,000 people in there. We're always willing to help and answer your questions. You know, as soon as I set this up, 619 already posted this live stream in the Telegram support group. And there's a lot of times where YouTube doesn't tell us when something's happening. So, you know, the more ways you have to know, the better for you, right? There's also links in the description down below for things like VPNs. And, you know, I guess I'll talk a quick moment about why I use Nord. And there's a lot of other VPNs out there. There are some other ones that I'm interested in. There's actually a couple of VPNs that I've sent messages to be an affiliate for them, and they never got back to me. So I've kind of stuck with Nord because I've had a relationship with them for, you know, 4 or 5 years now. And one of the things that I like about them is the ability to block advertisements, right? I can still use the original third-party APKs, turn on my Nord, and block the advertisements inside of these applications. That's why I like using it. Because a lot of us already know, if you've been in the streaming community for a while, the moment that you try to block ads and run a VPN at the same time, you can't do both on an Android device. You do one or the other, and they'll kick each other around. They'll kick each other out. So PIA is good, but I'm not sure, because the last time I checked, they didn't have the opportunity to set a custom DNS or have their own ad blocker. The only thing that I really wish Nord had was actually a parental control, where I could block certain websites if I wanted to. And so far, I haven't seen that. I've been having my son use my computer for his homework, and after he uses it, just like any smart dad, I'm going to check the history of that shit. And I can see that he's not just doing homework. So I go in, I'm using my Windows Defender, I'm blocking certain websites so he can't get to it. But it would just be nice if I can just manage it all directly through a VPN, right? Would be cool. Would be cool. There's also links down below for Fire Sticks. Generally, I use a lot of Fire Sticks because that's what I've used for years. The other devices that I like to use are the Buzz TV devices because I like their interface when it comes to live TV. Now, keep in mind, guys, a lot of people are going to either hate that statement or like that statement. I don't really care. And the reason I say that is because your viewing experience is your viewing experience. It's personal to you, right? I like it, so I use it, and I know the guys that work at Buzz. I get to talk to them every month or two. I go down to their head office and we have a chat, and you know, we get feedback from the community, and I submit it to them and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, I enjoy that relationship that I have with Buzz TV for sure. So there's links down below that give you discounts on that. There's links for Fire Sticks. There's links for a bunch of stuff, so just check them out. There's also some crypto related links. So if you want to come on down, those bots from yesterday, because I said the word crypto, it's also crypto related links down below, because I am, I don't want to offend anybody, but I am more of a crypto enthusiast than I am a streaming enthusiast. But I continue to create content, not saying that I don't like streaming content, but I continue to make content because you guys enjoy it. And if you guys continue to enjoy it, I will continue to make content about it, and we go from there, right? All right, so let me go over to AndroidTV.tips. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get started. We got about 15 people in here. Make sure you hit that thumb up, and you want to make sure that you're subscribed. Again, there's about 63% of you guys that are not subscribed to the channel. This is streaming to Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch, but I only look at YouTube. The other two are just for people that use those platforms. I don't really go over there much. It is what it is. All right, so let's go over to AndroidTV.tips. Let me share my screen. Window. All right, there we go. All right, how is the background audio? How is the audio and the video from the stream? Sometimes I notice that my audio doesn't line up with my video. Let me know if there's any issues so I can fix them as well. All right, so if anyone doesn't know, this is the website, AndroidTV.tips. It has some content on here. You can also find, you know, my YouTube videos and links to Buzz TV and NordVPN. But what I usually talk about is the news section. Because this has been set up to search all over the internet so that you guys don't have to, and give you the latest when it comes to your entertainment news, right? So we're gonna just scroll down a bit because there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about here. We'll kind of go in that order. So hold on, let me just scroll down a bit more. This one, I seen this yesterday and I didn't think that it was worthy of a video. So I guess we can go over it quickly and you guys can tell me what you think, but it doesn't really relate to, you know, the retail users of YouTube. And basically it says YouTube offers advertisers moment blast on connected TV. Well, it does affect you guys in a certain way, I guess. So what it is that it gives advertisers prime positioning on YouTube select content during key moments in major sporting events, movie releases, product launches, and other happenings. So if you got, you know, a live stream going on, maybe they're live streaming a baseball game, right? Maybe it's the Super Bowl. I don't know, whatever it is, they're going to give these advertisers prime positioning during these moments. And I guess they would have to pay a prime dollar for that because they're going to have more eyes watching it for these moments as well. They get a branded title card and an optionable maced head. I don't even know what that means. Whatever. Okay. So this is a quote from, doesn't even say. People have always connected in front of the TV screen, but YouTube gives them the unique chance to bond over shared passions like watching live streamed concerts, fitness classes, or even religious ceremonies together. They feel a similar connection to the ads they get too. Because they're always listening to us. What's up, Lone Wolf? How you doing, man? I seen your comment. I was like, I'm going live, but hopefully you catch me. I don't usually plan on going live for too long. This week, it looks like around lunchtime, I'm going to be trying to go live. I don't know if I can do it every day. This is Tuesday and we're 2 for 2 so far. So see if we can keep it going. I appreciate you coming through. So it says 59% of the respondents agreed that ads on YouTube are more relevant than ads on linear TV or other streaming apps, YouTube said in a blog post. Now, this is kind of like an oxymoron though, right? Like your dumb TV doesn't analyze everything you do in your life. So how is it going to personalize the ads for you? Obviously, YouTube can do that because of your Google account. It's going to personalize all that stuff for you. Now, some people are really against any kind of personalization because they don't want their data being collected. And some people don't care because sometimes it can be convenient, right? So here's a quote here. It says, "We are now expanding product feeds to discovery ads to help you scale your social media creative and reach even more engaged viewers," YouTube said. Soon, product feeds will also include local offers, allowing brands to show real-time availability for products in their Google Merchant Center so people can find the most convenient place to buy. Creators will also be able to transform their content into virtual storefronts this quarter. That sounds like before the end of the year. We're already October, so this quarter, more creators will have the ability to tag products in their videos and shorts. That's interesting. So how would I tag that? I'm talking about the Chromecast. Can I tag it so you can just click on it in the video and buy it? It's interesting. I don't know if that's how it's going to work, but it's still interesting. Puma, an early tester, saw a 46% increase in return on ad spend after moving from a standard discovery ad to product feeds. So it looks like they're trying to make it more into a social media network. Oscar R. Why would I pay for 4K content? I said it in the live stream yesterday. I mean, It was just a test. They didn't confirm that they're doing it or not. But the only justification that I could have on their end is, well, I guess there's a couple of justifications on their end. One, it's a lot of strain on their servers for a lot of people that are using 4K that actually don't need to, because of the automatic resolution adjusting. It goes to 4K as long as your bandwidth can handle it by speed, not by capacity, right? So there's other ways they could go around it if that was the issue, right? They could set it so that if you were on certain devices, your max resolution would be 720 or 1080, right? Because a lot of people, especially myself, what's up, G Taurus? What's up, Paul? Appreciate you guys. Everyone give a big shout out to Paul. Say thank you, because he is a moderator in the Telegram group and he helps out a lot. So appreciate you, Paul. Appreciate you a lot. Yeah, so if that was the issue, then you could set resolution limits for certain devices. Now, the other thing is that YouTube streaming, but mainly YouTube, has taken over how we consume entertainment, news, and content a lot in the last 30 years, right? So 30 years ago, the average person or the average family all sat around the TV and discussed, or not discussed, but we absorbed all of our content from the TV, and cable was a platform that we paid for, and we had advertisements in there, right? So there was double funding on their part, right? Thank you, G Taurus. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Yeah. So they are the largest platform for consuming content in the world, no matter if, like, compared to cable companies, compared to streaming, compared to everything else. And at the end of the day, it's a lot of strain on their servers for a lot of stuff to be playing in 4K, especially when a lot of us, I know myself, I just have YouTube on just for the audio, right? I'll maybe doing stuff in the background, but I'm listening to things. I'm always listening to things, right? So it's a lot of wasted bandwidth. At the same time, it looks like we're finding kind of a sweet spot on the consumer side for how much mobile data the world is using. I know in the States, they're a little bit, or they give you guys a little bit more data. On the other side of the border here, a lot of it is limited. And I think the average that I'm starting to see now is between 6 to 10 gigabytes that the average person has. I still run into people once in a while that don't have any data on their mobile devices, and I'm like, bro, how do you live? Like, I need data. I need, like, if I need to find an answer for something, if I need to do some work or whatever it is. But I guess it's different strokes for different folks, right? The other thing is, we have to understand, and I say this all the time in my videos, is that although the enthusiasts, which all of you guys watching this video and commenting are, you all enthusiasts when it comes to streaming, when it comes to consuming content, when it comes to tech, all that kind of stuff. Although the enthusiasts are the loudest in the group, we are not the largest by number. And a lot of these companies need to focus on averages to make the best bang for their buck when it comes to their revenues, right? So what I mean by that is the average enthusiast can definitely tell the difference between 4K and 1080p. But the average person that's watching YouTube can't tell the difference between 720 and 4K. Might be a little bit of a stretch, but going through your day-to-day life, the average person only cares about, can I see what's happening on the screen? How, and most of the time, what we're watching the content on is our phone, right? We're watching it on our phone. So you don't need to have anything higher than 720p. It's a want, it's nice, right? But you can still see everything that's going on in 480 and 720p. You can argue any way about it you want, but for the average person, all they want is to be able to understand what's going on the screen without a bunch of pixels, which you can get in 480, 720, and 1080p for sure, and no buffering. So if they start to eliminate some of the resolution, they start to really focus around that sweet spot, I think, of speed, buffering, and the average consumer that's using their products as well, or services, as well as the devices that it's being used on, right? If 90%, I'm just throwing numbers out there, maybe it's 60%, let's say 60% of the devices that streams YouTube content can't even play 4K, then does it make sense for their servers to be constantly hit, right? I don't know. I'm just that's from a business perspective, but also from consumer side. There's a lot of people that run through their data very quickly because of resolution, automatic upscaling, right? So maybe it's a young parent, they give their phone to their kids and their kids are always streaming content. And if their bandwidth is limited in regards to how much data they can use a month, they can run through that very quickly, right? But if there is certain kind of limitations, I wish they would have done it in settings if that was the case again, but I'm not running the business. I'm just saying possible reasons why this is happening, right? At the end of the day, there's a lot of content on YouTube and they are the internet's archive. So they're not saying that you can't access this content. They're just saying if you want it in its absolute best quality, then it does cost something, right? So that is business at the end of the day, unfortunately. What's up, Tech Love and Mama? How you doing? All right, so let's go through some of the other articles that I thought were pretty cool or not. And the thumbnail for the video today is actually a Twitter post from Netflix in 2017 when they said, how cool is sharing accounts? I don't know if that's a real one or not, or maybe it's just a meme. Thought it was funny. But more and more as we get into next year, there's a bigger and bigger pushback from sharing Netflix accounts. So they are implementing new features to make this transition easier for you. What's up, Elias? I see you, man. I got 16 people up in here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up as you come in and just double check, do me a favor and double check that you're subscribed. YouTube has been really interesting over the last year for me, and unsubscribing a lot of people from my channel, and they're just starting to come back, and I'm seeing a lot of good people. Really good stream yesterday. If you missed that one, go check it out. But yeah, just make sure that you subscribe to the channel and you have your notifications turned on. What's up, Rob? How you doing? I've seen a lot of the same people from yesterday. This is really cool. Love hanging out with you guys. All right, so Netflix profile transfer feature will remove the pain of moving accounts. Will it though? Will it really? Are we in pain because we can't just move our profile to another paid account? Nah, we're in pain because we don't want to pay for it ourselves. So hold on, let me go to the YouTube chat and I want to see this poll. So I asked in the chat, so I'll give you guys another minute if you haven't answered the poll at the top of the chat. The question is, if you use Netflix, is it shared? Now that's twofold. If you use it and you pay for it, do you share it with a family member or a friend, or does a family member or a friend pay for it and share it with you? So just quickly answer that if you can. We have 22 votes so far, which I think that's some great interaction, guys. I think we only have how many people? Maybe 20 people in here. We got 22 comments or 22 interactions. That's great. I should do I should do polls more often. What's up, Preppy Mama? How you doing? You're just getting to work, I think. I hope your driving to work was good. And of course, Cyclone's just waking up. I was thinking about messaging you, Cyclone, and be like, yo, you awake yet? I'm thinking about going live. Preppy Mama, how you doing? Hope you have a great work shift. Hope your day is great. So, bro, yo, people are folding in. All right, so another minute or so to answer the poll at the top of the screen. We got 22 votes in. It says, if you use Netflix, is it shared? Like I said, twofold. If you use it because you pay for it, do you share it with a family member or a friend? Now, really and truly, I want to know if they're not in your household, right? If they're in your household, it is what it is. Like, that's a no-brainer, right? And then the other side of it is if you use it and you don't pay for it, right? So I'll give it another minute to get those votes in. Let me refresh my page to make sure we're all up to date. All right, so we're still at 22 votes. All right, so it says 55% say that they use Netflix and that it is shared. Now, I'm hoping the people, the 45% who said no, understood that they use Netflix and they pay for it, but they don't share it, and not that they don't use Netflix. Reading and comprehension skills. I hope we have that. Don't take no shit from nobody. That's right, Cycle. You tell them. All right. So Netflix seems to think that the issue that we're sharing accounts is because you want your own account. You want to have your own account. You want to pay for it, but you want to be able to move your profile and separate it from wherever you're sharing it from. Sounds really funny, but Netflix is a little delusional, as we all know. Yeah, see, and they're doing this more and more. Rob says they stopped me from sharing. Santos says, I pay for it and share it with my granddaughter in Honduras. And that's, I mean, I'm not encouraging any kind of sharing or anything like that, but if you watch yesterday's stream, the ad-supported plan that starts at $6.99 in the States is $5.99 Canadian in Canada, starting November 3rd. So if that was a possibility to purchase it in some countries like Turkey, that's cheaper, and then be able to watch different content with a VPN if you still can. I'm not saying to do these things, guys. I'm not saying to do them. Don't do these things. I'm just saying these are possible things that people were doing in the past. YouTube, I don't talk about that stuff at all. Okay, let's go down through this article. Actually, I think, hold on. I want to see if AFTV News has an article on this. No, they don't. There was another article that I seen on this that I wanted to talk about. Just want to make sure. Let's talk about this one here. All right, so freeloaders will be able to keep their personalized recommendations, viewing history, their list, save games, because everyone's using Netflix gaming. What's up, Pepe? Because everyone's using Netflix gaming, right? And the other settings once they finally are forced to pay for their own account. Pepe, they have game streaming, but nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it. I don't use it. I don't know what it's like. I don't really care. They don't have a lot of content, but Netflix has a gaming streaming. I just don't know what countries it's available in right now, but it's out there. Yeah, like 99% of the people that have Netflix haven't. Yeah. So, okay, let's get back into this. So Netflix says people move, families grow, and relationships end. Like your relationship with Netflix once this is implemented. Once they stop you from sharing. It was the product manager said that, touting the new feature. But throughout these life changes, your Netflix experience should stay the same. So I guess if you share a Netflix account with your boyfriend or your girlfriend and you decide to move on, then you can move on with your Netflix account. Or at least your settings from it. This is so silly. I guess, but some people are really passionate about your settings, I guess, and your watch history and all that kind of stuff. I'm not that serious about that stuff, so I don't really care about this stuff. So the introduction of profile transfer comes with Netflix expecting a lot of current users to need it in the near term. Hear that? Yeah, what's up, FlickCheck? Here, listen to this sentence really clearly, carefully, not clearly. The introduction of profile transfer comes with Netflix expecting a lot of current users to need it in the near term future. Key word is need, people. not want. We don't want this feature. We don't give a crap about this feature, but Netflix says that we're going to need it because they're going to start really I can't speak today. Blocking and banning accounts. I've talked about this on my channel, right? They're testing this in some countries already. If you're using it for more than 2 weeks outside of the current user's IP address, then they're going to say, hey, you got to purchase a travel pass or whatever, an additional home or whatever the hell it is. I'm testing all this stuff. So they're saying near term future, you're going to need the ability to transfer your settings and your profile from one Netflix account to the other. So it's interesting stuff, guys. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section. Sir Dirty says Netflix isn't pedos that supports. Oh, I'm not even gonna repeat that. Anyways, so let's close that. I just want to double check this article to see if there's anything different in here. Oh, so here's the actual cues if you need to know how to use it. So you'd sign into your Netflix and log into your account as usual. On the home menu, select the account page from the top right corner. In the profiles and parental controls section, choose the account you wish to transfer. Under the transfer profile section, select transfer. It's for the complicated people. 5, register a new email address and password for your new account. Do not. What? That's not even proper English. Do not. This has. I'm just gonna start with this has to be a new account. That's not even. Okay. This has to be a new account. So what you want to do is create the account. Not an existing one, as you can move profiles between. Do not. Okay, this has to be a new account, as you can move profiles between. Whoever wrote this was drunk. That's not like established accounts. I don't know. I'm thinking that they're trying to say that it has to be a new account that you're moving it between, but then it goes on to say not an existing one, as you can move profiles between established accounts. This whole sentence is a dumpster fire. Confusion at its best. You can't even guess to say, does it need to be a new account or can you move it between established accounts? Because that's just a dumpster fire. Follow the on-screen prompts to finalize the process. Crazy. Well, who wrote this? Andy, you can get some rest. Andy needs some rest, man. Cyclone says Netflix coming out with its own set of AAA titles for Netflix gaming. Titles like Double Drag and oh my gosh, why do you make me read this stuff? Why do you do this to me, Cyclone? Stop it. Get some help. Okay, let's close that one. I'm gonna close that article too. Close this one. Anything new in this one? Be the first to comment. Were you drunk? Rob says one day everyone is everyone is using it, and the next day, bam, a message appears telling you your account will no longer support sharing. I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's such as life. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. All right, so this is from the Streamable talking about the same topic. The password sharing crackdown is a gamble for Netflix, despite a report this summer which found that nearly 2/3 of the users who share an account would be willing to pay for their own. See, the 2/3, 60% of the people that share their account say that, hey, they ain't paying for their own. We're out. We're done. The streaming giant is also hoping that its new ad-supported price tier, which launches November 3rd, for $6.99 US, $5.99 Canadian, and then for any other countries, you can check my video from yesterday. We'll keep customers who might otherwise not be able to afford their own subscription. Is it that they can't afford it, or is it that they just don't want to? I think that there's going to be a transitional period where people are just like, well, I didn't have to do this for 20 years. And now that you want me to, we just need to have a break. Like Netflix needs to chill. And then when they come back with level-headed minds, they'll probably end up grabbing the $6.99 package because that's the cheapest one. The next highest one up is $10 a month, and that gives you 720p with no ads. And so I'm going to finish this one, and then I'll answer a couple more comments in the chat. Appreciate you guys. I really do enjoy the interaction that we've been having this week in the chat. So keep it coming, guys. Love it. Netflix has lost a total of 1.17 million paid subscribers over the first 2 quarters of 2022. And the rumors about attempted suppression of password sharing isn't likely to make customers happy. Many eyes in the industry will be focused on Netflix upcoming Q3 numbers, which will be released on Tuesday, October 18th, which is today. Bam. What do you call that? That's fresh off the press, guys. We're going to get some numbers tonight. Probably after the market closes. We'll find out how many subscribers Netflix has lost in this quarter. But it's not just Netflix's fault, guys. It's not just Netflix's fault, right? There's a lot of good competition out there, and a lot of them own the rights to their own content. So it's very difficult to compete. However, that being said, I do want to argue that Netflix has some good original content, right? Like, think about it. Dave Chappelle got paid $50 million to create 5 specials, and his specials were bangers, right? There's a lot of good creators, actors, actresses, producers, directors, all that kind of good stuff that are starting to get paid or have been paid over the last 5 years, I would say, a decent living salary to create content for streaming platforms, right? I think it's pretty cool. So they do deserve a little bit of respect. Zeke says, I'm paying for 4 TVs to be able to be on at the same time. I only use 2 TVs, and it would be pointless and a waste of money to pay for the second account just for my mom's TV. Yeah, so maybe they implement that add a house feature that's supposedly cheaper than a whole other account that they're testing in some other countries. Maybe that would make sense for a situation like that. But it's always good to check other products and services that you use, because sometimes they give you deals on things like Netflix and Disney Plus and stuff like that, like telecommunication providers. And there's a lot of things that are bundling streaming packages together for discounts and all kinds of crazy stuff. So check it out. Yeah, exactly. Right. Look at the profit they made throughout the years. They've made a lot of profit, but they're also dumping a lot of that money back into creating original content now, right? For the first like 15 years, there was no need for them to really create original content because they just killed Blockbuster, and everybody else didn't think the internet was still going to be around or something. I don't know. Nobody really cared. But yeah, they made a lot of money in the beginning, and then now they're trying to reinvest it into content and gaming. Not gaming. Like, just listen to Google Stadia and just go out of business. Don't do gaming, Netflix. Just don't do it. You're doing too much. Your focus should just be giving the best value product that people want, so people continue to subscribe to your service. Cyclone, you're ridiculous. Yeah, you guys are crazy. All right, so I'm a little bit of Netflixed out. I don't know if I want to talk about Netflix anymore. And Netflix just keeps going on and on and on. So let's go through and find a new article to talk about. We've been streaming for 40 minutes already. Make sure you hit that like and double check to make sure you're subscribed. like I was saying in the beginning of the live stream, there's about 63% of the people that are not subscribed to the channel. And I'm not blaming you guys. I'm blaming YouTube because the past year they've been unsubscribing a lot of people from a lot of channels. So just double check that YouTube hasn't unsubscribed you from my channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. And I think that it would be a value for you too. All right. So hopefully I have enough time to get through all the topics. All right. We already talked about that. Okay, so next on the list is going to be Fubotv. I really wanted Fubotv to be successful with this certain plan. And, you know, the writing was on the wall about a year ago when they started to change how they were doing this. But the big thing is Fubotv has a lot of contracts with sports, live sports, stuff like that. And they were implementing a live betting feature directly into their platform, right? And I, just for fun, once in a while, I do some betting on sports. I like to, you know, just play around with it. Nothing crazy. It's not an addiction. Like once in a while here and there, I'll throw some money at a sports game and see what happens, right? So the idea of implementing a new thing like this into the streaming world, I thought was really cool, and I wanted to see it happen. But they just announced that Fubotv is shutting down their sportsbook business as they see $100 million Q3 loss. So that's unfortunate. I was looking forward to some innovation in that area, but they're shutting it down. So they won't be the ones that are innovating it. It says that, and look how they open up this one here. Who wrote this? Let's see. John, what are you doing here, John? John says, money losing, sports oriented streaming service Fubotv. I guess if you're going to open a paragraph, that's one way to open a paragraph. Tell us how you really feel, John. Said it's closing down its sportsbook and exiting the online wagering business. At one time, the virtual MVPD, what is that? Media, video, I don't know. They keep coming up with all these acronyms, and I don't know what the hell they mean. Just tell me what you want to say. Says saw gambling as a way that it could generate additional revenue and profits from its sports-loving subscribers. Following our previously announced strategic review, because they did change what they were doing like 6 months to a year ago. We have concluded that continuing with Fubo Gaming and Fubo Sportsbook in this challenging macroeconomic environment would impact our ability to reach our longer-term profitable goals. Fubotv co-founder and CEO David Gandler said, therefore, we have made the difficult decision to exit the online sports wagering business effective immediately. I would still think that they could revisit it in the future, but as of right now, they're dumping too much money into building something that doesn't exist currently, right? So they need to focus. And I see this all the time. Like there was a headline today that came out from like Goldman Sachs, right? Saying that, oh, we might be going into a recession. It's like, please, we're in a recession. Like they keep acting like we're not. We're in a recession right now. I don't understand why they keep acting like we're not in a recession, but you got to be careful with how you spend your money. And the same goes with businesses. They have to be careful. So right now is not the time for innovation. Right now is the time for tightening budgets, right? Downscaling loss, really bringing home that cost of acquisition for their customers. So yeah, unfortunate, but I don't think that they're going to be out of it completely. I think they might come back once the markets turn around. All right, let's see what else we got. There's one or two other articles that I wanted to dive into before we finish the stream today. Well, that's cool. Paramount Plus is announcing that they're going to be launching in France, Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. So I'll give you the dates for that if you guys want them. And the pricing. So no word on price points. So they're speculating somewhere between $7 and $8 or euros or pounds or whatever it is in those countries. But where's the dates? Oh, here. This year will be monumental for our streaming strategy as we accelerate our global ambitions, rapidly expanding Paramount Plus in Europe, beginning with UK, Italy, Germany, France, and more by the end of this year. That's not too bad. A bunch of countries coming on by the end of this year, and then Asia, South Korea in June, followed by India next year. So there's your time frames if you're in one of those countries looking for Paramount Plus. Yeah, it's politics. What's up? All right, so let's jump out of that article and just keep scrolling. Unsolved Mysteries is back on Netflix. Ooh. There, YouTube ends its experiment placing 4K videos behind premium paywall. Yeah, they ended their experiment. Doesn't mean that it's not going to happen though, right? So they're just going to take the data, see what happens, and go from there. See, discounts are falling off for Disney Plus. If you were an early adopter, your price is going up. I guess you guys probably want to know what it's going to, right? So let's dive into it. It says, prior to the launch of Disney Plus in 2019, the company offered a whopper of a deal. If users were willing to sign up for 3 years of service, they could get it for $141 or $392 a month. Bear in mind, this was before they knew much of what Disney Plus was planning. It was a leap of faith that Disney promised to reward. That was a hell of a deal. Now the original deal is set to expire as of November the 12th. Disney Plus emailed those original users to alert them that their subscription will auto-renew at $80 a year or $667. It's pretty much doubling the price. Will those faithful fans carry on? I think that's still it's a good value for the service that you're getting, right? So I think they're going to continue. It's a great service. And so here we go. Captain America New World Order release date and everything we know so far. So I'm not going to dive into what they know, but I will give you the release date, which is Captain America 4 is coming on May 3rd, 2024. 2024 is going to be a banger of a year when it comes to movies. I'm telling you guys right now, some really, really good movies are scheduled for 2024 right now. We got Deadpool 3, Captain America. There's a bunch of good stuff that's coming out in 2024. So I don't know what 2023 is going to look like, but 2024 is going to be a hell of a year. And that's kind of my guesstimations when we really start to come out of the recession that we're in, when the markets really start to pick up and stuff like that going into the end of 2024. So I'm excited for 2024. I hope you guys are too. All right. So then we also have Thunderbolts. Marvel's Thunderbolts release dates, new cast members, and everything else that we know. I'm just going to give you the date again. Thunderbolts arrives in theaters July 26, 2024. And it's right after Captain America. Should we release? And then Fantastic Four, the new Fantastic Four is coming out after that as well in 2024. So yeah, 2024. This is all part of Marvel's phase 5 of their movies. So here we go. We'll just run through this really quickly. So Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is coming out February 17, 2023. It's right after my birthday. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Oh, Secret Invasion. So the Secret Invasion was originally scheduled as a TV show. And I kind of wanted it as a TV show, but now it's going to be a movie. And it's scheduled to be released in spring of 2023. So April, May. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is May 5th. Echo is coming out summer 2023. Loki Season 2. That should be good. Coming out summer of 2023. The Marvels is July 28th, 2023. Iron Hearts. This should be good. Fall 23. Agatha. I'm looking forward to this. Coven of Chaos. That's going to be a really good movie. Really, really good movie. Great, great actress. She did an amazing job as Agatha. Did a really, really good job. It's coming in the winter of 2023 into 2024. So I'm looking forward to this one. I think out of all the ones so far, I'm most excited about Agatha. Daredevil Born Again is really good. Like I like the actor who's playing Daredevil. And I'm excited for the relaunch of Daredevil as well. So that's coming spring 2024. Captain America, we talked about that. Thunderbolts, Blade. So there's finally coming out with a new Blade. And that's November 3rd. And then Phase 6 is going to be rolling into Deadpool 3, November 8th. Fantastic Four. This is I don't think these are accurate. When did this article come out? When was this article produced? Because it looks like some of those movies that they're saying was from 2025 will actually be pushed into 2024. It's fairly recent. I don't know. We'll have to see. All right, so let's get out of here. Google TV announces new safety features for kids' profiles and including watch lists and more parental controls. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, there's more information. I don't think that it would be too difficult to figure it out, but basically it's just going to be new controls that give parents an extra layer of security, making sure that their children aren't able to access programming that they shouldn't be viewing through their user profiles. While though their user profiles took a while for the company to introduce, they are a powerful tool for customizing what users are watching. In the past, Google TV aggregated all of the content viewed on its service into profile recommendations, no matter the age range of the users. So yeah, cool, whatever. Not too exciting, but can be very useful, right? Here's a heads up. Lack of sleep makes you less likely to help others study finds. So if you're feeling a little bit grumpy and you don't want to talk to people, get some sleep. All right, so here's an article here that probably a lot of people are going to be talking about. Is Apple TV, and I know that I talk a lot about Android stuff, but it's always good to have an open mind as to what's going on in the rest of the market as well. Apple announces third gen Apple TV 4K, removes the HD model from the store. In a more rumored in recent weeks, Apple has indeed announced a new version of Apple TV 4K streaming device. This new version boasts an updating CPU compared to the second generation model, which was announced just last year. Now, originally I thought that the Cube and the Apple device was both going to be kind of a scaled down device, and the Cube really threw me for a loop with coming with a CPU that I never heard of. It was a banger from M-Logic. Never heard of the CPU. Great device came out. Can't wait to get my Cube next week. I should be getting my Cube next week. So I can't wait to play with that Cube, see what it can do, really run it through its paces, have some fun with it, all that kind of good stuff, right? So Apple did the same thing. They came out with a higher spec model. The company is offering two versions starting at $129, which is not a bad price, guys. Not a bad price. Wi-Fi only model with 64 gigs of onboard storage. Look, more out of the box, coming with more memory than any Android box that's official. Who's got more than 64 gigs and has an official licensed Android box? Ooh. Right? Users looking for a wired and networking and more storage can opt in for the 149 model that offers gigabit internet and 128 of onboard storage. What did they say? Gigabit internet. Gigabit. That's not what you're getting on the Cube. The Cube, you're getting 100 megs. So, I mean, they're giving you two things that the Cube is not giving you, which is gigabit internet and more storage. And for what, cheaper of a price? Yes. A lot of you guys are gonna be like, well, you can't do much with an Apple TV. For the average person who just wants a really fast device that just wants to use legitimate platforms and programs, go for it. There are a couple things if you want to really dive deep that you can still get access to, right? But I'm not saying it's a bad device, guys. If somebody tells you, one of your family members or a friend that says, hey, I have Apple TV, don't turn up your face at them. It's still a solid device, right? It's coming with the latest HDR10 Plus, HDR10, Dolby Vision. The CPU is a huge jump from the A12 to the A15, and it's the same CPU that I think is in the non-pro version of the iPhone 14, and those are fast devices. You can say what you want about the software, but the specs of the hardware is great, right? Just think about it. If you got an Android device that had gigabit Ethernet, 128 gigs of onboard storage, was a licensed device that could play everything, Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, whatever, right? Had HDR10 Plus, right? Obviously to the 4K and all that kind of good stuff. Would it not be worth more than the $149 price tag? It would probably be $200. It would be, challenging the NVIDIA Shield out there, right? Because of the gigabit Ethernet, you probably have people that are trying to run media servers off of it, right? Probably would. Now, yeah, Uno nice. You're an enthusiast. Everyone watching in here is an enthusiast, right? I always say this. The enthusiasts are people with the biggest mouths, but have the lowest numbers. For the average consumer out there, this thing will knock their socks off. It will, right? And there are certain things you can do on here that I can't say on YouTube, but not as much as an Android device, of course, right? So yeah. We all know that you hate Crapple Cyclone. We all know it, but I try to be as unbiased as possible. You know me. You know how I roll. Apple said the new processor is up to 50% faster with graphics seeing up to 30% boost. Meanwhile, the included Siri remote means that the redesign was introduced last year, but switches from a Lightning port to USB-C charging. What's up, Kiko? How you doing, man? Been a minute. Hope you're good. So yeah, the other thing that I think Apple, and I said this in one of my videos before, but what Apple really needs to do is redesign Apple Arcade to be cloud-based, because it's just going to shrivel and die unless they do it. This is a loaded question, Rob. Loaded question. You really got to figure out what you want from a box, right? Like you obviously have devices right now. What are the devices that you have right now, and what are they not doing for you? What more do you want, right? If you ask that question, like the new Cube, the new 3rd generation Cube, if you want something that's better than that, in what perspective? Because I will fight people and say that the new Cube has a better processor than the NVIDIA Shield, has the best processor on the market when it comes to Android devices, the best processor, right? It has the second best, and I'm hoping that maybe it comes really close, but I doubt it. No, it won't come anywhere close. But the second best GPU on the market, right? But again, that doesn't matter. The gaming doesn't matter, because majority of people who are going to be gaming on these devices will tell you they're going to be gaming through cloud platforms, cloud-based platforms that doesn't really need local hardware. So when you say I want a better device than the new Amazon Cube 3, what do you want it to do that it can't do already? Is it, when you say better, do you mean cheaper? When you say better, do you mean like what do you want? And yeah, see, Cyclone here, when you said better, he heard cheaper. right? Value. He heard value, and he said on box, right? 619 says Roku. Yeah, Roku has some nice stuff. All right, Flick Chick, you have a good one. Roku has some nice stuff, but some of their business moves I'm really confused by. Like they're coming out with a 480 or 720p device that's dirt cheap, but like whatever, man. Look at this article. I don't know if you can read this, but it says TikTok is now more popular than Netflix among younger Americans. Will ad-supported tier help Netflix rebound? I don't know about that because people don't have to pay to use TikTok, right? Yeah, but see, Cycle, those are all things that an enthusiast would want. The average person doesn't care about that kind of stuff. And if enthusiasts, like, man. So, yeah, Amazon does disable some stuff like that. But, like, there's still ways of working around it. All your data belonging to us, 619. 619 says, read the TikTok's terms of service. All your data is going to China. China. So what's this? Most popular apps among young Americans under 35. Shit. Oh, that hurt. Oh, it hurts. Oh, I'm not a young American. Oh, I'm over 35. Oh, it hurts. So it says ranked from 1 to 10. We have YouTube, TikTok, Netflix. Facebook Watch surprises the crap out of me. Like really, Twitch, Prime Video, Roku, Peacock, the free version, Hulu, and Tubi. All right, let's do this, Rob. You want performance, gaming, and streaming. Now you want the best for performance, gaming, and streaming. Then you kind of have to, I don't know, see which one really matters to you, because no matter what, the NVIDIA Shield is going to be the best for gaming. It's going to be the best for gaming. But performance wise, outside of gaming, the new Cube is going to perform better than it, right? Streaming wise, the new Cube is, well, it's going to be debatable until we actually get it in our hands, because the new Cube and the NVIDIA Shield Pro both does resolution upscaling, right? They both do resolution upscaling. So they're both going to have really, really good content. But as a streaming device, I personally prefer the Amazon devices over the Cubes. I mean, the Shields, personally. That's just my personal opinion. That's why I'm super excited about the new Cube, right? Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. More people watching Facebook than Hulu. That's a lie. We're talking about mobile apps, I guess, for young people under 35. I'm just salty at this whole article because I'm still young. I'm forever young, okay? Look at this hair and this beard. It's starting to go gray, but I'm still young. Whatever. Uno Nice says the average person will buy either a Fire Stick or an Apple TV device for streaming. Why? Because of the name. Everyone has heard of Amazon and Apple and trust both companies heavily. Well, it's not just that. It's about the ecosystem too, right? Yeah. Okay. So look, let me break it down this for you. Like this way. If you're thinking about getting the new Cube, like if you can afford it, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I'd do it in a heartbeat. I'd buy that Cube, and I already placed my order, right? If you're going to do it, just, I mean, I can share a link in the chat that's affiliated. That doesn't cost you anything and gives me a little bit of kickback if you want. But to me, streaming devices always have a good resale value. You can usually either return them or sell them to a family member or a friend with some slight mods for more than what you purchased it for. So it's never a bad idea to get a device that you're thinking about getting, because you can always either get back your money or make more. Yeah, good idea, right? Out of all of the devices that Amazon has, that new Cube is going to be the best one, right? So if you like the interface from Amazon, then that's the best one, right? If you ask Cyclone, who's in the chat, Cyclone's going to be like, I hate this crap. Give me an Android OS, like an Android TV OS or a Google TV OS versus a Fire OS, right? Preferences, right? So Personally, I think it's a great device. Do I think it's going to be overkill for a lot of people? Hell yeah, I do. But I like overkill. So I'm going to play around with that device. The second generation cube, it was on sale for 50% off. And that was a great buy at 50% off. Still a great device, right? Like if we go over to AFTV News here, Elias over at AFTV News, Elias Saba, does a really good job of benchmarking a lot of these devices. So if I scroll down here, I'm pretty sure I can find a chart. Pretty sure I can find a chart. Give me 1 second. One second. There we go. So here's a CPU benchmark, right? Look. The Fire TV Cube 2 is said to be twice as fast as the Fire TV Stick 4K Max. So if we go by that math, right, then we should be getting close to a 5,000 score on the multi and an 1,800 on the single, right? It's coming with an octa-core processor that none of these devices, I think the Tegra is actually an octa-core, but either way, the Tegra chip, the CPU chip that's in the Shield, hasn't been updated since 2015. Everything they've done to the Shield since 2015 has been software optimizes and overclocks. That's it. There was the Tegra, there's the Tegra X1 Plus. Like it's just overclocks, right? So I think that processing wise, the new Cube is going to demolish everything on this list. Everything. I don't care what it is. Now, when it comes down to, where is it now? Crap. There's another article. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, give me 1 second. I'll get that link for you. Now, we don't have the actual specs, Rob, so don't get me wrong. We don't have the specs yet, so 5,000 could be way out of the ballpark. But just processing wise, if you like the Amazon ecosystem and you like the interface, that is going to be a killer product. I've already placed my order, like I said, but I kind of have to because you guys want me to talk about this stuff, so I have to buy this stuff, right? So good and bad problem because this is super expensive here. But hold on, give me 1 second. All right, so I'm going to be sharing the link for the Cube in the chat here. See it. You guys want to support the channel in whatever way, just click this link. You don't have to buy anything. Just click the link. And as long as you click it, if you do purchase anything from Amazon, then Amazon says, well, hey, NxTLvLTech sent you here. And we'll give them a kickback, even if you buy diapers or something like that. I don't know, whatever. I just appreciate it. It's just any way to help support me goes a long way, right? It really does. There was another article I was looking for. Oh, so just to talk about, I guess, this a little bit more, because I love this device. It's coming with a new standard remote. Where the hell am I? I didn't mean to click that. Damn it. Hold on. It's coming with a new standard remote, but it's not the Fire TV Remote Pro. It's a good remote, but it's not the Pro. So if you are looking to get the top of the line Fire TV remote, then you have to purchase that separately, and that actually isn't launched until next month. So you can see that this is the current remote that's on the market. This is the new standard remote that's coming out with the new Cube. And then this is the Pro. More buttons. We have some programmable buttons here, backlight illuminated, and it has a speaker to help you find it as well. So, so let me just answer a couple more of these questions. Um, Uno says, I wonder what NVIDIA is waiting for. Where's the new Shield? Listen, the Tegra chip that the Shield has been living off of for like 10 years, that was sold to Nintendo. So if they want to create something, they would have to create something brand new. And just, I'm not too excited about the Shields, to be honest with you. I don't really care about them. They're okay devices. Obviously, they're very expensive. They're powerful or whatever. But when it comes to innovation, all they really did for me was they came out with a really good device in 2015. Really good chip, octa-core processor, 500 gigs of onboard storage. And every year after that, all they did was bring down the storage down to 16 gigs instead of 500 anymore, right? And then they changed the remote every year. So yeah, it's a good device, but because the lack of innovation, I stopped caring about it. And now that they sold the processor to Nintendo, I don't really care because I don't think that they're going to do anything for a while. And when they do, there's so many other good products in the market now that I don't really care about that one right now. They have to do something to really wow me. And unfortunately, going into 2025, 2024, the gaming experience is no longer hardware dependent. It's not. The Nintendo chip, that was actually pretty funny, Cyclone. That was good. Nintendo only bought it so they could call it the Nintendo chip. That's pretty funny. That was a good one. That was a good one. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So, I mean, we've been streaming for over an hour. If you guys have something you want me to talk about, thanks for subscribing, Mark. Appreciate it. We can talk about whatever you guys want. But yeah, that's kind of the current state as of today. I kind of like coming on around this time, around 12 o'clock, around lunchtime, and just kind of going through AndroidTV.tips and just reading you the latest news. Kind of gives me some time to interact with you guys. And it's a lot easier for me to make a video like this, a live stream, than to record something and then edit it and then render it and then upload it and do all that kind of crazy stuff. I just prefer the interaction and I really do enjoy the live streams. So I hope that you guys do too. I know that this isn't maybe the best time to be doing live streams, but this is the best time for me. Yeah, so for sure. Lone Wolf says, I have a Fire TV box 2nd generation. That's a beast. And it is. It's a crazy beast. Great performances, good IO. Only problem with that device, which isn't a huge problem for a lot of people, is the operating system is outdated, right? And once you get too far outdated, then certain applications stop working for it, right? But I don't think that you're going to have a crazy issue for a good few years, right? It's still a great box. I think when I pulled it up on AFTV here, let me find the chart because it's still on the chart. And even though it came out so long ago, it still has a very respectful rank when it comes to processing power. So I'll show you guys right here. So that one is this one here, 2015 to 2017, still respectful. It's still faster than the 4K Max, right? Respectful scores for an older device that came out, 5-6 years ago. Great device. But the only thing with that, like I said, the operating system is going to become outdated in a few years and some applications can stop working for it. That's the only thing, right? Other than that, it's a great device. And then you have the and you have a Shield. Good devices, right? Here's the thing. A lot of these devices now are overkill for the average person. Like, what are you really doing with these devices? Why do you need so much power? Why? If you can answer that, then that's cool. Then you can justify it, right? But a lot of us just want the latest and greatest to have the latest and greatest, right? And that's it, right? So bro says, with all the devices coming out now, it boils down to personal choice and preference, right? Because you're going to like a different user experience than maybe your friend is, right? Some people really like the Amazon Fire TV interface. Some people really like Google TV interface. Some people really like a stock Android mobile OS interface. Some people like Apple, right? Their interface. Like, everyone's going to like what they like. And a lot of the influences from this stuff is going to be coming from places outside of that device, right? people who love the ecosystem from, Apple or from Amazon are going to kind of go towards those products, right? Same thing with Google. Google going into the next year is going to be really interesting building out that ecosystem, right? In 2020, that Google bought Fitbit, right? And I have a Fitbit. I'm wearing it right now, right? I use Fitbit every day. I go into the app. I have a little community in there that we challenge each other for activities and stuff like that, and it's really fun. But my problem with a lot of the smart watches is that their battery life is shit. And the only reason I went with a Fitbit was because, well, there's two reasons. One, because I think that the actual features, the smart features on a smart watch device isn't ready yet. It's just not there yet. So I wanted a device that would track my steps, help me be more active, and had a killer battery life. And in my personal opinion, you can't beat a Fitbit. When it comes to that, you can't. If you just want those two things, track my shit and have wicked battery life. I get a week's charge out of this Fitbit. A week. Yeah, I ain't joking. 7 days. But do I sit there and swipe through all the stuff and do all this stuff? The only other thing that I do on here besides tracking my steps is setting an alarm. And the alarm's kind of cool because it vibrates on my wrist when it wants me to wake up when I set it, right? So if I set it for 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, it'll start vibrating around that time and kind of gently waking me up from my sleep, right? Hopefully it doesn't always work. Well, I mean, it always vibrates, doesn't always wake me up. Sometimes I'm a pretty heavy sleeper. But I'm hoping that over the next 2 years, that Google can take some of the innovations that Fitbit was able to accomplish and really take their devices to the next level. The watch that they came out with this year does have Fitbit integration, but I'm a little bit disappointed because I find that it's actually a watch that was created 2 years ago and it's being released now, and that the bezels are too big and it doesn't have the battery life that I want, and you're only going to get a day's charge out of it. So in the next 2 years, I'm hoping to get a Pixel watch that gives me the same battery life that a Fitbit does. And at that point, I'll be down. It'll have a bigger screen, better battery, and I want to do all the things that a smartwatch should be aiming to accomplish, right? That's what I'm really interested in. Oh man, that's a difficult question. I think that's a very, very difficult question. So Mark wants to know, what do you think will be faster, the 3rd generation Fire Cube or the new Apple TV 4K for streaming? That's a difficult question. Very difficult question. Oh man. Oh, this article just came out. I wonder if Elias says anything about it. Here, let's read this article because I think this will give us a good perspective of it. All right, I'm going to read this whole article because this is the first time I'm seeing it and I don't want to miss anything. And I think that there's a lot of good information from Elias here at AFTV News. It's one of my favorite websites to get a lot of my information from. But before I dive into that, I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything in the chat. Okay. All right. So Apple made a surprise announcement this morning. This is today. This article just came out with the reveal of a pair of new 2022 Apple TV 4K models. We talked about this earlier in the stream. One's wired, one's not. One has 64 gigs of onboard storage. One has 128 and priced respectively at $129 and $179, right? Which is less than the expensive Fire TV Cube Gen 3, less. The new Apple TV looks a lot like the older model from the outside, apart from some port changes. It includes the Siri remote, also nearly identical to the one that was released last year, except for the new remote for 2022 now charges using USB-C instead of the Lightning port. Also, Apple is also continuing to offer 2 models with different storage options, but springing for the more expensive version now gets you more than just double the storage. It gets you an Ethernet port. Okay, I'm gonna skip this whole. Actually, no. Let's go right here. Unlike the past models, however, Apple has decided to remove the Ethernet from the less expensive model, so you need to pay more if you want gigabit Ethernet port in the 149 model. Both models continue to feature Wi-Fi 6 and 802.11 Max. Okay, so right there, the Fire TV Cube 3rd generation has faster Wi-Fi 6 because it has Wi-Fi 6E versus Wi-Fi 6. So if you are really interested in having the fastest Wi-Fi and you have the craziest home network, then if that was the only deciding factor for you, the Cube wins. See right here, the Fire TV Cube 3rd generation remains the only streaming device to feature the Wi-Fi 6E, right there. As for video capabilities, the new Apple TV 4K adds support for HDR10 Plus for the first time. Of course, it continues to support Dolby Vision and all the popular audio formats like Dolby Atmos. Apple has made no mention of support for AV1 video decoding, but I suspect that the new Apple TV is plenty powerful enough to support AV1 software decoding via its CPU. It has to have it. I don't see why it wouldn't. Which is now bumped up to an A15 Bionic chip CPU without needing a dedicated AV1 hardware decoder. The new CPU is said to be 50% more powerful than the A12 Bionic that was in the previous models, and the GPU is said to be 30% more powerful, although it's unknown if Apple TV is using an A15 with 4 found in other Apple TV devices, or the A15 with 5 GPU cores. Also, it doesn't know if it's using 4 cores or 5 cores when it comes to the GPU. This is the latest iPhone. Either way, the A15 makes the new Apple TV easily the most powerful streaming device on the market in raw performance. So saying raw performance, the A15 will outperform potentially the Cube, but the Cube potentially has better Wi-Fi. The Apple has a better Ethernet port. So it really comes down to, I would say, how it optimizes for the user experience. So I still think that as an experience, the Cube will be better. But if you're looking for just raw performance, then the Apple TV 4K might be better for you. But I don't know. I don't have too much experience of hand-on use when it comes to the Apple devices, so I can't say a whole lot about it. But I'm still leaning towards that the Amazon Cube, their generation. That's just me though. You could always get both and return the one that you don't want. Yeah. All right, so we're actually all caught up. That was all the articles. We streamed for about an hour and a half. We're going to start wrapping this up. And give me 1 second here. All right, so we're going to start wrapping this up. I'm just going to try something out because I don't know if I can make changes to the live stream while it's going on. So let's see if I can. All right, guys. So for the last few minutes while I end this live stream, I'm just turning it on to members only, just to kind of test some things out, just out of respect to the members. I think that it is going to be good to give them their own time if they want to have any feedback or if they want to add any more input. It is not obligated to be a member of the channel, but it does help out what we do here on NxTLvLTech and AndroidTV.tips. There's a lot of things that we work on, obviously on YouTube, but outside of YouTube, we're also working on the website, we're working on applications, we're working on the groups, and a bunch of things to make streaming information, news, and content easier for you, right? So I'm hoping that in the future to do some more members only live streams. And if we can get it to, I don't know, somewhere around maybe 100 members of the channel, then I can maybe do a weekly members only live stream. I don't want to do it if we only have like 5 members and those 5 members can't get on at the same time. Then it's kind of like I'm just doing a live stream for like 1 or 2 people, and at that point I would rather just be doing a live stream for everybody. So a big shout out to all the members of the YouTube channel. You do support me in a lot of different ways, and without you guys it'd be very difficult to continue to make YouTube content. It'd be very difficult, to be honest with you. The views are not what they used to be. I remember months when I would get 500,000 views in a month, and now I'll be lucky if I get 20,000. So obviously there's a big difference there, and it makes it difficult to invest a lot of time into something that isn't monetarily, I'm not saying I do this for the money, but justifiable, putting in the work of a full-time job and getting paid as a volunteer. If you are looking to become a member of the channel, then down below there is the join button. Now, if you are using a mobile device, you may have to go down below and then scroll over to see the join button. So I'll show you guys where it is. It's super strange the way that the application works, but I'll show you. One second. Where is my... Hold on. If I can only learn how to use my YouTube app, then it would be great. All right, so if we... I don't know if you guys can see this. All right, let me go full screen here. Stop sharing. Okay, so if you can see my phone... well, I minimized it. All right, so you see my phone there? Oh, you have this bar right here. You actually have to scroll it. See how it moves back and forth? A lot of people don't know that that's how it works, but there's more options there. And then when you scroll it across, then you'll see the option to either hit thanks as well. So you can do donations directly in the video. So if you have a video that you really appreciated that I released, then you can actually do a donation directly through that video, even if it's not live, right? That's another way that you can show appreciation. There's also affiliated links in the description of every single video. Now, there's also links that are useful for you, even if you don't want to support whatever I do. There's links to completely free groups with over 2,000 people in it to help support and answer any questions that you have. There are links to VPNs that I use. There's links to crypto platforms that I use. There's links to stock trading platforms that I use. There's links to all kinds of things down below. So it's always good just to check it out and see what links are down there that might be of interest to you. There's also cryptocurrency addresses if you do want to donate through cryptocurrency. I'm a big believer in cryptocurrency. I love cryptocurrency. I'm a cryptocurrency enthusiast, and I am hopefully embarking into another cryptocurrency project in the future. But I don't want to get too far into that. And it looks like I'll probably have to create another YouTube channel when I do, because you guys really like this content. So I'll have to keep creating both when that time comes, right? So I hope that you guys enjoyed this stream. I kind of covered all of the news that came out today, everything from Fubotv to Netflix to Apple TV devices. Talked a little bit about the cubes, talked a little bit about the shields, all that kind of stuff. Some really great articles that came out. Yeah, so I think with that, we're gonna call it a day. I appreciate every single one of you guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Hey everybody, just before we get going, I wanted to say a huge thank you, much love and appreciation to everyone who supports what I do over here on NxTLvLTech. Make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button and share these videos with a family member and friend.